What's up, guys? I got myself a nice box here today. We're going to go ahead and take a look at this, and you're going to want to stick around for it. Alright, guys, so inside our mystery box here, we have the Arkhitect Advanced Research Colonizer model here. I don't believe it's actually made by Iwata. I forget. I think this is the name. Dream Gear is actually the company that makes it, but they are partnered with Iwata to make this. So this is officially like an Iwata licensed product and everything. But Dream Gear reached out. They said they had some of these if I wanted to check them out. And I said, yeah, that'd be freaking awesome. So they sent one over. If you're interested in getting one of these, the links will be down below. There's a US distributor and a Canada distributor. And they are also looking for other distributors worldwide. So if you're interested in getting your hands on one of these, the links will be down below. They're not affiliate links or anything like that. So yeah, I literally just featured this product only because I like it and I thought it was really awesome. So we're going to go ahead and open it up. It says this is 1/3000 scale, special edition, and cycle ion transition engine. It looks like it comes with LED lights, movable parts. Yeah, it says LED system, an LED light base, and then it has special edition premium parts. So let's go ahead and open it up, see what's in here. I don't really know what to expect. I think it's a kit. I think we have to put it together. Yes, a scale plastic model kit. So let's open it up. Yep, it's a kit. So this is going to be pretty awesome. We're going to be able to put this all together. And then we'll probably paint it too. So we'll give it our own flair. So we're going to go ahead and see how many of these there is. There's 1, 2... That one's kind of like clear. This must be for all the lit up parts. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Here's the LED light system. Pretty awesome. Really cool. So we got that, and then an instruction book. So obviously when you get yours, you're gonna get your own instruction book and stuff. And then here we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Cool. So yeah, looks like they have a whole instruction set here. So I'll just bore you guys, me going step by step, but I'll put up a quick time lapse, and then we'll see what it looks like, kind of just put together as it is. But then maybe we'll paint it and add our own little flair to it. So enjoy this quick time lapse of me putting it together, following these instructions. I really don't want to do that on video because I'm probably not the best at it. So yeah, see you back in a minute. Alright guys, so as you can see, even just putting it together, just like it comes out of the box, right here it's put together, no glue or anything yet. I just kind of snapped it all into place. And it's all really nice. All the parts are nice and labeled. The parts, each one of the little frame kit things has a letter, and then each part has a number. The instructions are really good. Everything is lettered and numbered. Yeah, and even here in the middle, it does have some suggestions for colors on what you could use here to get this all looking really cool. It does have some optional parts, so I chose to put the Iwata cover on this side. On this side, it does have the docking ports here, which I thought was really cool. Let's see what else here. But yeah, everything was really nice. It's a really nice build. I thought it all kind of went together really good. I like how they have an Iwata HPC here, the diagram kind of showing how this goes. Really cool, really easy build. At least it was easy to follow, you know. And yeah, it looks really good like that. I'm gonna go ahead and light it up. We'll dim the lights, and we'll see what it looks like, just like it comes out of the box without adding any colors or anything. Some of these parts are positionable, so like you can position these like they move up and down. The trigger is movable a little bit. This, I believe, is movable back and forth. And again, nothing is glued, so I'm just doing my best here to make sure nothing falls apart. But yeah, it's a little bit adjustable. Obviously, you can move it around on this stand a little bit. So yeah, let's plug it in. Let's see what it looks like with the lights off, and yeah, give it a good look. So as you can see, guys, it looks really good right out of the box, just like that. But I do feel like there's a little bit of a detail left behind, and maybe just a little bit more of a show finish. I like, you know, a showcase finish, or just something that I would want to have on my shelf. This is really nice, but I feel like we can make it look better. So I'm going to take a little bit of time. We're going to disassemble it. I'm going to go back and disassemble it, and I'm going to take note of kind of what parts I need to paint. And we'll go back and paint those parts, as well as when I reassemble it, I will glue it, and yeah. Alright guys, so I have it all taken apart, and I'm gonna start with these light gray pieces, which I want to look like metal, like you know, a nice shiny kind of a metal, some kind of a space metal. You know, I want it shiny, but I also want it to look kind of like it's weathered, like it's been in space for a while. You know, I don't want it to be super just silver. So we're gonna give it a nice little look. And then at the very end, I might come back and just paint in some little details here. Sorry about the garage door, it's windy today. But you know, we'll get all the main stuff based out. And we might even wait on those details till we have it all put back together, because there are some of these little details on some of the other pieces as well. So when I come back in with a brush, maybe we'll just do that all at once. But for now, I do want to get these based out, and yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with some Createx black sealer. I've already kind of cleaned these off, and we've got them ready to go, so I'm trying not to touch them too much. I'm going to be using some tweezers to kind of hold them and move them around as I need. And yeah, so let's get started. I'm going to lay some black down, and then we'll go from there. Alright guys, so we got all these nice and based up in black, and so I'm going to bring you guys in close, and I'm going to show you guys how we're going to lay down some silver over this. So. Alright guys, so we have all our parts based out in black here, and all I'm going to do is I just have some reducer, some 4011 here, and I have our Wicked Metallic Silver here. Now I want to dry brush this on, so I have a soft brush here. This is a 13 millimeter, just a soft brush. And all I'm going to do is just take some 4011, just some metallic silver here. We're going to put it here, and take a paper towel, and we're just going to kind of put this right here. We're going to dip the tip of our brush in here. All right, then we're going to just kind of pat it off on here. And I just want to take this metallic silver, and we're just going to kind of brush it on in these strokes here. Now you could spray it on, but what happens when you spray it on is that you get this crazy, just super bright silver. And that's not what we're going for. We just want to do this, wipe some of it off, and we're just going to kind of hit it on there. We don't want it to be super vibrant. We're going to leave the vibrancy to some of the other parts. That's all I'm going to do is just get some of this. And this will just be the first little coat of metallic here. And you'll notice as you go over it kind of a few times, it's going to really start to get shiny, but you don't want to overdo it. Just slightly hit it in there. And we do want to kind of leave some of the black show through. We don't want to just kind of get it all crazy bright silver. So I'm just going to do a coat like this on all of this. Just one quick fast coat. And yeah, so let me get that done, and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, guys, we got that first layer done in there. And now all I'm going to do is come in. I'm going to throw some of our Wicked Gray, Createx Opaque Gray, which is my own just medium gray between white and black. Add just a little bit of reducer kind of mixed in. And we're going to just take a drop or two of this over here next to our silver. We're going to take our brush, make sure it's dry. And mix that in with the silver pretty good. And now we want a really nice dry brush. You see this? With strokes like that? That's what we're looking for. We do want a little bit of silver kind of mixed in. But we do want to run the brush really dry. We're going to take it in here. I recommend you hold it. If you don't have a holder, using your tweezers like that would be a good way. And we're just gonna kind of start running this in there. Don't go too crazy right off the bat. Kind of layer it in. Just run your brush. That's going to give it a nice little texture to it. And it's going to subdue some of the pearl, but it's still going to look metallic. But at the same time, as it dries, you'll see that it'll get some nice little streaks, some nice little worn in damage, or just, you know, worn in, lived in. And I'm going to go ahead and do that to all the pieces. So we'll get that. Alright guys, so I got it, I got the silver on there, the silver layer, the base layer. We got a gray layer, a gray silver layer, that's what I should say. And now I'm just going to take just the opaque gray by itself. I'm going to lay some over here. And now we want to run the brush really dry, like really dry. Now, if you have like a fan brush or a stiffer brush, I could recommend that as well. But I want dry, so I even want this paint to just, I want to stretch it out here. And then I'll show you here. Bring this piece over here. And I'm just gonna quickly just give it some brushes. Nothing too crazy here. These are going to be like the final streaks over the top. This is where it's been traveling through space. You know, maybe stuff's kind of space debris hit on it on the sides and stuff. And we just want to make sure we show some of that worn in look all around. So just nice and lightly hitting it in. And you really just want to run it over the top. There you go. Now we're going to leave these like this, in this condition. And when we'll put it all together at the very end, we'll come back in and add a little bit more weathering, but maybe that way it'll match up to the rest of it, right? So just going to go ahead and do that to all the pieces here. Just really dry. We want to get those nice streaks. And you just want to let the brush do the work here. Just like that. Make sure you don't kill the silver. Make sure you don't kill the black. Make sure you can kind of see the streaks in there. Bam. So I'll get that done on all of these, and we'll move on to the next step. All right, guys, so got this all in there, and I don't know how well it comes up on camera, but we got a really cool, like space steel kind of texture, kind of going on. It's metallic-y, but it's not overpowering. We have this the weathering, and just you can kind of see a lot more of the detail of the ship here. So I'm gonna leave this as it is. I'm gonna let this dry up really good. I'm gonna set this aside and we'll move on to the next set of parts. All right, guys, and here we have our next set of parts, and I'm gonna use metallic gold. So these kind of parts are kind of used more for accent pieces, and I want these to have like the gold, right? So a lot of spacecraft and stuff have like gold bits that kind of stick out, just protection from radiation or whatnot. And that's what we're going to use. We're going to use the wicked metallic gold. I'm going to give this all a black base. And then we're going to lay wicked metallic gold. That way it'll give us a nice deep looking gold. We don't want it, I don't want it to be super bright gold, but we do want it to be gold. So I'm going to lay the black sealer. We're going to seal it all up, give it a little bit of time to dry, and then I'm going to airbrush them with some wicked metallic gold. Yeah, I'm really not going to do much brush work on these. Like I said, these are kind of more like accent pieces, and I do want these to look like gold. Gold doesn't really corrode or anything like that, and I want these to be the brightest bits, but not too bright. So we're going to give them a black base and then gold them in. So yeah, let's get that done. All right, guys, so on this particular set of pieces here, which are brown, I want to do the wicked metallic bronze on these, but I do want more like a reddish, like a really reddish bronze, and then we might come back and again use our brush and maybe some candy black or something. And we might just give this all a little bit of texture, just a little bit of a different look. But we are going to just base it out with some wicked bronze. I'm going to lay down red Autoborn sealer on this, and then airbrush it in wicked metallic bronze. And then we're going to just do a little bit of detail with the brush. So let me get it based out in the metallic, and then I'll show you guys just a quick little way we're going to do the same technique with the brush, but using just the different little colors to also give this just a little bit weathering, right? All right, guys. So now we have our parts all based out in the bronze here. And so what I want to do is I'm actually, instead of using black, I'm going to use Dirt Track Brown, just because of the contrast of this color here. So all I'm going to do is just take a little bit of Dirt Track Brown candy. And we're going to drop just a little bit in there. We don't need too much. And this is pre-mixed with Createx 4050. Right, and just a tiny bit of reducer, and this is just my pre-mixed little candy bottle there, and I'm just gonna throw in a lot more reducer in here. Then we're gonna take our same brush, and we're gonna really get this nice and wet. Throw some more reducer in here. And what we're gonna do, I don't need a whole lot here, but we've gotten this brush really wet, right, with that candy. So I'm going to take these pieces and I'm just going to brush it on. And what that's going to do is the candy is going to build up in all those little nooks and crannies and around all those different tips and stuff. And it's really just going to bring out the elegance of the details. So just going in and just brushing on some of that candy on there. Now if you spray it on, you're just going to get a complete coverage of brown, right? And that's not what we want. We want that brown to just kind of be really wet, because we want it to work its way into all those little lines and around those little you know, high points and stuff. You see, like this has all that detail going around. So if we let that candy work its way into that, again, our brush is super wet with it, so I'm just going really lightly over this. And all we want to do is make sure that the brown gets into all of those little sections there. And we'll just do this for every piece. You can see I didn't make up a whole bunch because we don't. This goes a long way with a big wet brush like this. This will go a long way. So just make sure you run it over everything. It also is going to bring that bronze and really bring it in to a nice bronzy color there. And that looks really good. And one thing you do want to do is make sure you let the gold dry really good. I mean the bronze, the original bronze paint, the Wicked Browns. Make sure you let that dry really good before you move on to the steps. So all I'm doing is just making sure that brown gets all up in those little details, and it brings out the definition, and it deepens the Wicked Metallic Bronze. Again, you want this to be really wet. You want it to be more of a wash. You want it to go over and just build up and get into all those little details that are in there. We did that piece, and lastly is this one. And that's one cool thing you can do with the candies. You can use it in multiple ways like this. And once we have our model all put back together, we are going to spray it with some 4050, and that'll seal all of this stuff up. But we want to do that at the end so that the whole thing has a nice uniform look. But as you can see here, especially like on this piece here, it really brought out all that detail. And it would have been just a normal brown piece. I mean, it's still kind of a brown, but it's more bronze and gold, and now you could really see all those little points. And yeah, now when we put it all together, it's really going to give it a nice contrast against the other colors that we've done. So yeah, let's get the last set of pieces set up, and then we'll move on. All right, guys, so we have the next set of pieces lined up here, and I want to get these white. And I'm not just going to do any white because I think that would be kind of boring. So we're going to do Wicked Metallic White on these. And then we're going to come back and do the same process like we did on the bronze, using the candy as a wash. But this time we're going to use black candy over the white metallic pearl here to really bring out the details, as the black will really contrast really good with the metallic white. So I'm going to give this a good base out with the white sealer, Autoburn white sealer. We're going to let that dry up really good, and then I'm going to come back and give it a couple coats with the Wicked Metallic White, and then I'll do the wash over with the black. And that's how I'm going to execute this. So let me get that done, and we'll have all the parts ready. so we have all our parts painted up. Everything's been drying overnight, and yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put this all back together, and we'll get a good look at it. So give me a minute to put it together, and we'll get a good shot of it. Alright guys, so we got it all put back together, and it looks pretty freaking sweet. But just, you know, to give it the cherry on the top, I'm going to take a nice detail fine brush like this, and we're just going to paint in some of the things, maybe add a little more detail to it. But already it's looking pretty sharp, but like you can see, maybe this area in here, we missed that, so we got to get in there. Maybe add a little detail to some of this stuff in here. And yeah, just bring out some of the detail, and then once I'm done kind of painting in the detail, I'm gonna let it dry for a good 30 minutes or something, and I'm gonna spray it with some 40-50 matte, and that'll just lock everything down in place. It'll help seal it all up, and it'll help just everything just become one cohesive unit. So anyway, let me go through here. I'm gonna use the Wicked Opaques straight out of the bottle. On some of these, I'm going to make myself a little palette, and probably just use a little bit of black, maybe a little bit of white, maybe just some straight up silver, and just, you know, go in here and just bring some stuff right back out. So